Perfect.
Okay, well, obviously very excited about our win. It was a Boston College win. Played run defense, ran the football, had, they had 47 yards rushing, and we had 251. We controlled the line of scrimmage completely. The game was an interesting game. It started out, we had great momentum, and then we turned the ball over 2 times in a row and gave them 14 points. We had another 7 put back on, and then another 7 taken away on a penalty. So there's 28 points in there in that game. I thought our kids were really resilient. I thought they had complete confidence. They were physically playing really tough up front. Both sides compete, and then special teams. I mean, we have the block punt by Nolan Borgeson. We had the block PAT by Zach Allen. Mike had a couple of good returns in there, one on kickoff return, a couple of good punt returns. Our coverage was outstanding on punt and on kickoff. So I think, again, our special teams played very, very well. But important, what I thought we saw was a team that had great resiliency and toughness. And when it appeared as though momentum was shifting a little bit, steadied in the boat and just kept pounding away at the thing and overcame it in the end. I think in the process, we were able to see a young running back emerge, a big running back that got his opportunity to come in here, which is a great thing for us to have depth at that position. You saw Benny and Travis making a bunch of plays in there. So all in all, we're going to head into the bye week 5-2, have a chance to get rested, have a chance to get AJ back healthy, ready to roll, and have a strong football team heading down the back end of this season. We've been an explosive team right along on both sides of the ball. We've been a little bit inconsistent. Some of those inconsistencies were better today. Anthony was efficient at the quarterback position today. And I think we uncharacteristically had a few too many penalties. But in terms of the quarterback play, in terms of the defense and offensive play, third down, everything, I thought we took a real step forward. And if you were on the sideline or near the sideline, that was a physical football game. And it was a BC game. And we were able to come out on top, and very, very proud of our team. And I think what you see is a team that's going to come off this bye week, in a good place. So happy to answer any questions.
You just talked about your blitz packages today, like pass at a hurry, a lot of passes, and
yeah, I mean, we put together some different blitz packages, some twist, 4-man twist things up front. I thought we got after the quarterback pretty good, and just got off the field, and that was a good thing. We've come off of a couple of losses here where we've played some outstanding quarterbacks and some real high-end quarterback throw game play, and I think we have a chance to develop from that. And that's kind of what I said to myself. I don't think everybody realizes that a week ago we were down in an environment on the road, and that quarterback's a pretty darn good player. And but I think we're growing from that. And again, we had a chance to do this today, and we still don't have our big gun in the game right now. And we're going to get him back, and that's going to help all the more.
Steve, 2 4th-down plays. David gets stopped on 4th and short,
Yep.
and after you had called timeout. If you could go over that play, and
Sure.
then the 4th and I believe 4, where you guys convert to Travis in the flat.
Okay, so on the 4th down and 1 play, we had a play call, and I was worried about that call and that formation, and so I called the timeout. And then we came into the timeout, and we had a couple choices we were going to make. And one choice you saw is what we ran the second time on the 4th and 5. We were going to run that, and I made the decision to run the one that we ran. I wanted to feed it to David. I thought at that point, we had a chance to put his big body in there and get that first down. In hindsight, I would have liked to have run the one that we ran on the 4th and 5 on the 4th and 1. But that was my fault. And I think the biggest thing was, unfortunately we had to call a timeout, and we lost a little bit of momentum in that swing right there. So I don't think that was a particularly great exchange right there, and but that's nobody's fault but my own. And but those are the calls sometimes in the game that happen, and you know, when they don't work out so good, you know, you pause to look back and evaluate it, and that's exactly what happened with the tail of those two calls. That's why we went right back to the one we were going to go to on the next one.
Steve, the decision to go with David Bailey at that point, was that more of a change of pace, just get something a little different?
We had made a decision, we were playing David. I regret that we didn't play David a week ago. But the game had a different flow to it a week ago on the road. And, you know, it's kind of like the same old story, you know, it's like, you know, 2 years ago, it was like, well, you know, why'd you take your time with AJ? Because we wanted things to be positive for him. And then all of a sudden he emerged. And I thought that was handled, in hindsight, very well. And I think we'll prove that this will too. Sometimes you take these young guys, you're trying to keep it as positive as you can keep it early, because that builds confidence. But we had made a plan, we were flat playing him, that was it, we told him. And he carried the ball, I think, 18 times, something like that maybe, for over 100, I'm sorry, 28. He had over 100 yards, and Benny had over 100 yards, and I think you have now seen the emergence of another big physical back. And in our style of play, that's really important. And you feel that void when AJ's hurt right now. That's a little bit of a void. And the other guys are doing a great job, but that has a lot to do with who we are in terms of staying on track down and distance and not getting behind the sticks too much. And so I'm really excited about that right now. You know, and to have the combination that we have, which is obviously the best back in the conference in AJ Dillon, and then to have a young guy like David Bailey, who's another 250-pound back with speed, and then to have Travis and Benny in there that can do so many things on third down and et cetera for you, is going to give us a lot more explosiveness and keep us better offensively on schedule.
Coach, there's been some talk about this run defense, just holding the Cardinals to only 1.5 yards per carry. Do you really feel like the defensive line stepped up today?
Yeah, they played great today. I mean, I could tell from the sideline they were playing great. There was great penetration, surge. There was a different energy today in the hotel before we left, and there was one of those deals where we felt like, wow, this is going to be a real street fight out here today. And our D-line, you know, there were some comments made earlier in the week, and our defensive line took offense to that, and I think they showed how explosive and how fast and athletic they can be, and physically tough. And so they played with a purpose, no doubt about it.
Steve, it seems like David is the type of running back that plays well behind a line like this. He's very downhill. He gets to top speed fast. When you were recruiting him in the preseason, did you sort of see him as a good fit for what you guys like to do?
100%. I mean, some of the guys that are in this room that have come to practice and I know well know that they've heard me talk about him. The problem you have sometimes with these young guys is they come out of high school, they have to learn how to they get fatigued really easily, and then they get sloppy with the ball, okay? And that's been our only concern. He has great hands. He catches the ball in the backfield, unbelievable. But just the play in and play out, and then the complete handling of the whole offense. You know, he's, you know, all the shotgun plays and different things. You know, it just takes a while. You know, and you know you can throw a guy in there and do it that way, or you can bring him in bits and pieces. I just think that at the end of the day, sometimes a quarterback, a big time running back, I just believe you want to build confidence, and you don't want to shell shock them when they're young freshmen like that, and whether that's what I think is right, everybody has a different opinion, I guess, but yes, we saw in preseason, we saw in recruiting, and we saw in preseason camp that what you saw is honestly, in my mind, the tip of the iceberg of what he can do, and he'll continue to grow and get better and better.
Hey Coach, you talked about on the back half of your schedule. How do you prepare guys when you're going into such an important stretch these upcoming games?
Well, the first thing we're going to do right now is we're going to give them the biggest chunk of time that I've given any team off in the bye week. They have a heavy academic load right now, and a lot of our guys have been really burning the oil late at night on their studies, and so I just feel like we need to get ahead on that right now. I want our bodies to get rested. We're a very physical team, and we practice very physically. Okay, and so I'm going to utilize this week, and I'm going to give them time off. And I just told the team that we'll come in tomorrow and spend 2 hours watching the tape, and then we'll see them here They'll be the strength coach on Wednesday, and I'll see them Thursday and Friday for 2 bona fide Miami practices. Game planned out, Miami Tuesday, Miami Wednesday. And then we'll give them the weekend again. I want their bodies fresh. I want to feel like we're fresh again, as fresh as you can be, going into game 8. And I think we can be fresh. And I want to play fast and physical here a week from Friday. And so that's going to be our mindset right now for the next week. And I've made that decision. And I'm living with that because I think that's what's in order for our football team right now. And that's what we're going to do.
What's that, guys?
Okay, thank you very much.